Hi guys, my name is Pratik and today I'm back with another video. So I have recently built a gaming PC slash video editing PC slash photo editing PC. So on the most left hand side of the screen, as you can see, we have a PC part picker list. This is the actual build that I have, and if you would like to see the build process, I can make a video about it. If you have any questions regarding this, I can answer them in the comments. But yeah, on the left side, we have the PC part picker list. On the center, we have the Amazon Newegg and Micro Center pricing so that we can compare the prices of those things. And I can also tell you the upgrade options for each of these parts. And on the right side, we have a sheet where I have described all of the items that I'm using, the online price, either Amazon or Newegg. I bought all of my items from Micro Center, so I'll be listing them out. Plus, I'll also give you hints and tips on how you can maybe save some money on some of the parts and how I did for my PC. And you'll see how much price that I paid, and as compared to online pricing, you'll see the difference at the end. So let's start. So first we have the AMD Ryzen 5 2600X processor. The reason I chose this processor, like I know a lot of people would say you should have gone with the 3600X or the 3600 because it's the same price almost. But I'll tell you the price right now. For Amazon and on Newegg, both places I see this price as 183, 188. So let's take the least price for this one, which is 183. That's okay. And now let's go to Micro Center. Since Micro Center is the store which is nearby to my place, so I would just go here, and as you can see, AMD Ryzen 5 2600X variant. This is already overclocked from factory, so I don't have to do anything about it. And it comes with a stock cooler, so I save money on cooler as well, CPU cooler. So I just put price as $100 here, which is I instantly save 83 bucks. Now for those people who would suggest that I should go with 3600. Yeah, I know it's a better processor, 25%, 20% performance gain. But if you see, I'm not very much into gaming, or I'm not very heavily utilizing this PC actually. I'm just using as an occasional user, or you would say a little bit of photo editing, a little bit of video editing, sometimes Lightroom, Photoshop. Those things don't actually require very high CPU power or GPU power for that matter, which you'll see the choices why I selected the GPU what I have. So if I see the price of 3600, and again, if I go to Micro Center, I see here on Amazon 174, and if I go to Micro Center, I'd still see the price of about $160. So I'm still saving about $60, and it's 60% more if I compare the price. Do I get 60% more performance? No, I'm getting 25% more performance. So that's what the reason for my CPU choice. Now let's talk about the motherboard, which is MSI B450 Tomahawk Max. So I selected this motherboard only and only because I have seen exceptional reviews for this one. The VRMs are great, a lot of PCI Express slots, 4 RAM slots, up to 128 gigabytes of RAM capacity in total, and just overall a good motherboard. So I thought this was the motherboard I should go through. Some small little bit of RGB lighting, which was good, but that's not my preference. But it's okay. It's a very good value. So this one is the B450 Tomahawk regular version. What I bought was the Max version. Max version on Micro Center. Let's see on Newegg first. Amazon, I couldn't find it. So MSI B450 Tomahawk Max. This is about 170. It's out of stock, but $117. So let's take $117. On Micro Center, if I see B450 Tomahawk Max, it's about $115. But if you see this thing, save $20 when bundled with a compatible eligible processor. Because I bought these two together, I actually got this for 95 bucks because instantly I got a discount. There's no rebate or anything like that. It's just instant. So if you buy these two together, you get $20 off. So which came out to 195, which was super deal for me. Now, if I talk about the RAM, why I selected the 32 gig variant, I think 3200 megahertz is the sweet spot for RAM, especially for Ryzen. So if I talk about in future, I'd like to upgrade to maybe a 3600 Ryzen CPU or a 3700X or something like that. I can still use the 3200 megahertz RAM and I'd be just doing fine without any problems. I don't want the exceptional performance. I don't want that. So I won't buy a 3666 megahertz RAM. It just wouldn't make sense for me. But if I see the capacity, why I selected 32 GB. Every time you buy a RAM, you should buy the maxed out version, what you can, out of your pocket. And if you see the latest games, 16 gigs RAM is just utilized anyways. 16 gigs is the base nowadays, and you wouldn't want to stay at the base. You would want to have an upgraded RAM, which you can utilize for your future use. So that's why 32 gigabyte made sense to me. Why I selected this one? Just for the price. I had a lot of options. There are a lot of options in the market, but I'll tell you why. 32. Yep, so I have the red color one, which is this. Right now it's showing 163, but I got it for $117 actually. There was a deal on Slick Deals, so I bought it from Newegg. So if I show you, right now it's 137. And Micro Center doesn't have this. So if you want to buy a 32 gigs RAM at Micro Center, you have to pay 140 for that. But this is G.Skill. Now let's talk about storage. I wanted to take a storage. This is NVMe, by the way. So I wanted to buy a storage which would serve me well first. Second, it should have high capacity just for future proofing purpose. And my computer should start really fast. I don't want to wait a long time just to start my computer. I could have gone with an M.2 basic drive or a 2.5-inch SSD. It's more or less the same price. It's just a difference of maybe $7-8. So going with this one actually was a good idea, was a better idea, what I feel. This has my OS, my games, Call of Duty and Counter-Strike and whatnot. So all of these things are residing in this main drive. I do have a secondary drive. I have not included in the price and in my build right now because I own this already. I own that drive already. I don't want to include that price, but if you want to include, you can always add. For $50 you can get like 2 terabytes of Seagate Barracuda drive. But for this one I paid 60. Online price is 65 actually. If you see here, it's 65. What I paid was $60 at Micro Center. No, $65 also at Micro Center. What I paid is a different price. Let's talk about GPU now. For some reason, my GPU wasn't coming up in the PC part picker list with the pricing, so I just added a random one right now. But mine is Gigabyte RX 580. So if I show you RX 580, and I feel it's an older GPU. I agree, but the price to performance you get with this GPU is actually the best. Yes, there are options to go with NVIDIA, and I can always go with that, like 1660 or 1650. It's around the same price. So I could have gone with that, yes, but the reason why I got this one was I found it cheaper. So this one, Newegg shows 169. Micro Center has the same price, 170. But I got it for really less, which I'll show you. I went with the RX 580 just for the price. It's a good performing GPU. I have limited requirement with it. I've used DaVinci Resolve. I don't use Adobe Premiere Pro. So DaVinci Resolve tends to like AMD GPUs and tends to use GPU power more than CPU power. So I had gone with this option, but you can always go with 1650 Ti or 1660 Ti if you are on the NVIDIA side. Since this is 169, actually 170, so I'll put that on Micro Center. It's 170 as well, but I got it for really cheap. I'll show the prices later. Case is NZXT 510, which is time and time. It's the best case you can buy. For $70, you get a very good airflow, nice looking case. It's really not a bad deal. On Micro Center, it's for 65, which is again not a bad deal. Power supply. So this power supply, I think this is Micro Center specific power supply. You don't get this power supply somewhere else. So I would just put the price as $60 for a 650 watt power supply, 80 plus bronze semi-modular. I got this for $60. That's why I'm putting online price as the same. Now let's talk about the Wi-Fi card. This is just a basic card, which is a PCIe card, since the Tomahawk Max doesn't come with a Wi-Fi built in. And if you would like to build a Hackintosh system in the future, maybe, then you can always upgrade to a different card, which would be a little bit more expensive. But I feel this is not a bad card to start with. So again, at Micro Center, I paid like 17 bucks, which is more as compared to Amazon. So yeah, this was my build. If I would have gone with the online pricing, I just show you that I would have paid about $817. If I were to go with Micro Center pricing all along, I would have paid at about $712. Now I'll show you the pricing that I actually paid for these guys. For my 2600X, I paid, as I told you, 100. For my MSI B450, I paid 95. For my 32 gigs of RAM, I paid $117 when it was on a deal. So timing is the most important thing in these kinds of builds. I feel this is more like a budget to medium budget build, where I am trying to save as much money as I can and get the most out of that and get the best build. I paid for my WD Blue $60, which is not at all bad, like $5 less. And I was getting $55 for SSD, regular SSD, 2.5 inch internal SSD. So $60 is really not bad for an NVMe drive. Then I paid $135 for an RX 580. Now you see the difference between 170 and 135. It's about a $35 difference. If you compare that to NVIDIA 1660, which is about $200, $210, it's a massive difference. From $135 to $210, it's about a $75 difference, which is huge. You don't get a lot of performance with that $75 price tag. So that's why I went with RX 580. It made more sense to me. Case, as I told you, I paid about the same money. Power Spec Bronze, again, 60 bucks for this. And this one I paid actually $17. So overall, I paid $654 for my build, plus taxes on top of that, which is whatever. But this is the total amount I paid for my build, which I feel is the most I can take out of this thing, out of my budget, and build the most highest performing system I can. Yes, you can always upgrade the parts and put more money in, and you're most welcome to do that. But you have, right now I have 2600X. You can always go to 3600 if you are not finding a deal. If you don't have a Micro Center near you, go ahead, buy AMD 3600. It's the best processor in that price range, hands down. Motherboard, go with MSI B450 Tomahawk Max. You'll thank me later. It's a really nice motherboard, no problems at all. It's very good performance, VRMs, heat, good. All things good, no problem. RAM, you can always go with G-Skill DDR4, which is not at all, it's time and again, it's the most stable RAM. But if you want to take your chances, go with this one when you find a deal. Not a bad deal, I would say. Performance is okay. 16, 18 is the cache latency, which is not bad. So this is all good. But yeah, if you want to increase your GPU power, if you are a very heavy gamer, go ahead with a better GPU. But if you want to get a deal somehow, like $135, if you get a deal, it's not at all bad. $654 I paid. If you like my build, and if you have any questions, or if you want to discuss something, leave them down in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel for more content. And thank you for your time.